morning. Happy Friday. Sorry I haven't been around for the last about a week, a little over a week now, because I've had a cold, been feeling awful. So I'm feeling a bit better now, so I thought I'd do a video on pound cake I want to make, because I've got all these eggs that my chickens have been laying, and I need to do something with them. So this recipe uses 6 large eggs, and so I want to make something to put in the freezer. And it's just going to be a vanilla pound cake, but I'm going to use condensed milk in it, which is going to make it nice and rich. And that way I have extra pound cake to take to somebody's house if I want to, or just to have with some fruit here at the house or whatever. So, but I've had my eggs sitting out. I've used my large chicken eggs, had them sitting out at room temperature all morning, as well as my butter. I use real butter. I don't use margarine or anything like that. So this is 1.5 or 1.25 cups of butter, which is 2 sticks and then 1/4 of a stick. And so it's been sitting out, and it's pretty soft. It's not all the way soft, but it's enough. So I've got this in my bowl, and now I'm going to add 1 cup of Truvia sugar blend, which is what I use for sugar. And I've used regular sugar too, but this is the one I'm using for today. It's the Truvia baking blend. And so we're going to mix this up together until it's nice and creamy. You may have to scrape the bowl a little bit, but you want to get it all incorporated until it's nice and creamy, and then we're going to add the can of condensed milk. So we're going to let this mix. Okay, the butter and sugar have mixed about 3 minutes. I let it go. Make sure it's pretty well mixed up. And now I'm going to add 1 can, 14-ounce can of sweetened condensed milk. Just going to pour it in there. And I think I'm going to stop it just a second so I can scrape out the rest of this goodness out of here, because we don't want to waste it. Smells so good. I know some people think, oh God, it's so fattening, but you know, it's going to be in a couple pound cake. It's not going to make just one big cake. We're going to have several. So, okay, that's all of that. Now we need to mix this up. It's going to be so good. And you can take for any kind of fruits or anything like that to put on it when it's all done. Excuse me. Boy, this cold has been driving me crazy. Okay, let's stop this and scrape the side just a little. Okay. Alright, now we're going to add the vanilla, pure vanilla extract. I'm just going to eyeball it. I'm not going to measure it out. It says 2 teaspoons. That looks about 2 teaspoons to me. So we're going to mix this up. Really good. And we're going to start adding our eggs one at a time. Let's get this back just a bit. There we go. Okay, let's turn it down a little bit. Here we go. We're going to add 6 eggs total. But you got to mix it up really good after each egg. So, and room temperature eggs, if you don't know this, are better to use than cold out of the fridge, because it's going to create a lot of volume when they're room temperature than being just a cold egg out of the refrigerator. Okay, let's add another one. One thing about my big chickens, their eggs, large eggs, have a lot of egg white compared to my little chickens, which, you know, they're more yolk than have white in there. So it's kind of interesting. Okay, let's add another one. Let's speed this up just a bit. There we go. There's another one. Beautiful, beautiful color eggs. Once I get them all in here, then I'll stop it and scrape the bowl down some. More. Okay, last egg. Okay, let's scrape the bowl a little bit. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to let this blend for about 3 minutes, and then we're going to add the dry ingredients. Okay, now we're going to add the dry ingredients to our pound cake wet ingredients. And in this bowl I have 3½ cups of all-purpose flour, a ½ teaspoon of baking powder, a ½ teaspoon of salt, and I've also added, this is not the container it came in, but it's a Chinese 5-spice, which has cinnamon and ginger and nutmeg, and I forget what all else because this is not the original jar. But it's kind of a fall taste to me, so I thought we would add that to it. You don't have to, but I'm just kind of like in that mood, so I'm just going to whisk it up here. But you could add just cinnamon if you wanted to, or pumpkin pie spice would be nice. Oh, it smells so good. I love the smell of that Chinese 5-spice. I need to go get me some more at the Asian food market in our town. Okay, there's that. Now we're just going to add, let me scoot this other bowl back over here, our mixer. Let's see what's going on. Wipe my hands off. We're going to add 1 cup at a time until it's all mixed up. Actually, smaller cup. No matter what you use to dip it with, just make sure you do a little bit at a time. Get it all mixed up. Just a little bit. Speed it up here. And you'll have to scrape your bowl down periodically. I'll let it go a few more times before I do that. This recipe, it was a Pinterest recipe, I believe. And there was a lot of good reviews on it. Somebody had shared it on, I don't know whose recipe it is, but I changed it up by using different sugar and not as much sugar. She was actually using 2½ cups of sugar plus the condensed milk, and I'm like, oh, that's just too much for me. So I thought I would change it up and put the spice in there. She didn't use that, so. Okay, let's scrape our bowl down. Gonna make a lot. Looks like instead of making, you know, one big one, make sure that's locked. Okay, I'm gonna keep adding this until it's all mixed in, and I will bring you back for the next step. Okay, I have a few of these foil pans left from baking stuff before, and I'm going to use these first. This is a pretty thick batter, so we're going to see how many I can get out of it, because I have some other foil pans too. I mean, I have regular bread baking pans that I normally use, but I wanted to use these because they're easier to, I can freeze them, put them in the freezer. Okay. I don't want to fill them too full. Alright, I'm going to need a spoon to kind of scrape this off. Let's see where we're at here. I don't want them to get too high up on the pan. I think that's probably about good. Alright, there's one. And I'm actually going to put these on a cookie sheet in case they do overflow, but I don't think they're going to. At least not these. I tasted the batter just a little bit and it's pretty good. Pretty good. And it's not overly sweet. I'm glad I cut the sugar down from what the actual recipe called for. All right, let's see where we're at with this one. So I do not want to overflow it. Okay. I think that's pretty good. All right. I've got my oven preheated to 350. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put these in the oven. I'm on the cookie sheet. Whoop, I mean to bump the camera. And I'll just have to pay attention because these are not going to go by the recipe as far as baking. Okay, and then I've got these foil pans that are actually round. And we're going to see how many of these we can get. Maybe just one. Okay, let me get this filled up and I'll bring you back. Okay. Actually I had actually another pan of this size, but it wasn't enough, so I got 2 loaf size pans and, well, actually 1.5, and then one this size. So we're going to bake them and get them all done, and I'll bring you back when I take them out of the oven. Okay, the vanilla pound cake with condensed milk turned out beautiful. I don't know why they split like that, but it's really pretty. And I'm letting them cool in the pan for a little bit, and then I'm going to take them out and let them cool on the rack by themselves, and then I'm going to put them back in the pans and freeze them. Or I just may let them cool completely in the pan. That's probably what I'm going to do. It's too much of a hassle to take them out. Just let them cool all the way till they're really, really cool, and put them in the freezer. Wrap them up really good, put them in the freezer, and we'll have pound cake for later on. They'll last about 4 or 5 months if you wrap them really, really good. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.